Where do we go from here? Richard Allen's attorneys stepping aside, and likely not necessarily by choice, in the Delphi murder case. This is one that we've been watching very closely, and one where you look at the man just alone, take all the Odinistic ideas and claims that the original set of defense attorneys brought out. There isn't a very strong case against this man, but hey, all that's been thrown out. But now the attorneys are gone too. Where do we go from here? And this man himself, what I look at, you see the deterioration uh, physically on him from the day he was arrested to where he is now, spending all this time in solitary confinement in a prison. This is a man that's innocent until proven guilty. Normally would be in the county jail. For perspective, Brian Koberger's eating vegan meals, has access to television and internet. This man in solitary confinement with very little evidence against him. Let's start there. What's going on with someone when they're in that sort of a mental state, when they've gone from normal life every day to suddenly now, oh my gosh, you are not going to be able to see society, and you're there for that long.
There is not a lot, but there's a considerable amount of research that suggests the psychological detriments of being in solitary confinement just at any point, whether it's pre adjudication or post adjudication. Solitary confinement can really break a person. And it's designed that way, and it can really establish symptoms that are associated with psychosis, despite no previous mental illness history within the person. Being in solitary confinement can break someone psychologically to the point where it looks like they're actually has schizophrenia. So that's
Mhm.
number one. And then we have this idea that we don't punish people until they have been proven guilty in a court of law. And here we're already punishing him by
Mhm.
putting him in that situation. But yes, there are some individuals who should be detained. And yes, clearly he should be detained because if the allegations are true, it's a very dangerous man.
Mhm.
Someone that we cannot have in society until we know that he's capable of being in society. So
Sure.
we have now someone who is being overly punished, who's not getting the sort of representation that he probably needs for such a high profile case such as this one. There's so many moving parts to this thing. There's a lot of noise, right?
Yeah.
Especially with all this Odinism and stuff like. There's a lot of noise when it comes to the trier of fact needing to find out what was true about what happened to these two girls. So we've got a lot of moving parts, and I'm not sure that he's getting what he would view as justice.
Yeah, I 100% agree there. Let's talk about one of the things that many go to when they're looking at the guilt or innocence of Richard Allen, and that would be the confessions that he made to his wife and his mother. The defense, the former defense, I should say, claims that it was under duress. It was under pressure from some of the guards that had been wearing Odinistic patches, part of the whole Odinistic theory that has been at play here. But let's take onanism out of it for a moment or two. Someone who, A, has been in that mental state, in the solitary confinement for all that time, the ways of things breaking down mentally for them. How easy is it, or how, common is it for someone to make a false admission of guilt under some sort of duress or, just their mental state being exhausted?
I wouldn't say it's common, but it does happen,
Mhm.
right? The this idea that people like they always tell the truth whenever they confess, or you that someone who's under duress will only tell a lie. That's not necessarily true. Neither one of those things is really true. We have to look at the contextual issues that are at play as to why would someone say whatever it is that they were going to say to whomever they said it to.
Mhm.
So it is certainly possible that given everything that was going on, everything that he was seeing, every experience that he was having, including being, in a prison. If you've never been in a prison before, when those doors lock behind you, and you're not getting out, I mean that plays on you, right? That weighs on you, and so it's certainly possible that he could have believed himself to be in a position where the only escape that he can get is to tell this lie, this false confession, not recognizing that it's actually putting him in a place that he would be unable to get away from
Mhm.
for the rest of his life.
Yeah, and that's the scary part with all of this. When we look ahead, I'm going to have you put on a totally different cap. I know you obviously you're not an attorney, but if you were representing or you had some sort of role in consulting with the new attorneys once they're assigned to Richard Allen, would you want them to continue going down this Odinistic route, or is it kind of a dead end and too fantastical for a jury to believe, almost pushing them more towards guilt than innocence? Does it hurt him more than it helps him?
Yeah, I think the real problem is that no one's really heard of this until recently. And it's going to then require massive education from experts to go on the stand to try to teach a jury about what has been going on when it comes to Odinism and its new relation to white supremacy. So I think it ends up being too much. You really kind of want your case theme to be easily understood
Mhm.
and a story that makes logical sense within the mind of the juror.
Yeah,
And by going this route, this fantastical route, I think you might alienate too many of them because all you need is one.
yeah.
All you need is one. And so I think it might be too much to go that route. There other defenses? I'm sure there are, but I don't know that I would consult with the attorneys and say that the Odinism route was the way to go.
Sure. Hey, it's Tony Brueski. If you want more of our interview with our guests, be sure to check out our podcast, Hidden Killers with Tony Brueski. Just search that wherever you download podcasts and press subscribe. Also, you can check out our YouTube channel for the full video version of the interviews as well, under the same name, Hidden Killers with Tony Brueski. Check it out, subscribe, binge, and enjoy. Thanks for watching.